telling in the long term. Whereas the Spark, you really don't know.
Saddle up, nerds. Here's your map set presented by Toy.
You can force out 1 or 2 support ults. See how it plays out.
Again, gesture to the high ground. Notice he doesn't commit to the low ground. Just giving a tickle right now. Now the Graviton Surge. Self-destruct thrown in behind them. Guards already down. London needed to clean that fight up early. Now they're in trouble. Try and perhaps stall out the point for as long as they possibly can, but they don't want to commit extra ultimates to this fight. They're not going to be too upset. Gesture says, okay, I'll go for the Primal Rage. Soundberry here. The Spitfire actually want to commit to this fight now. In the absence of anything else, over the edge goes Buzzy. And Gesture had a moment in the back line there, but good peel from Hangzhou. London Spitfire still control this point. They want to elongate this fight, make it costly for Hangzhou, and force him to really commit.
Yeah, the Primal Rage allows Gesture to stay alive. He gets really creative with the movement. So you see the self-destruct just used here by Rhea on the point, just trying to clear it out. London Spitfire looking really good to close out this first point.
Composure that the Spitfire were missing over the last week or so seems to have returned, at least on this map. Has he a little bit low? Can't be the front ladder he'd like to be on Brigitte, and there it is. Graviton, IDK just gets munched. And No Smite wasn't far behind him as he has to step forward, and the Hangzhou Spark are forced into a disappointing trickle onto the point. Transcendence there from Bedosian, keeps Prophet nice and topped up, and another Primal Rage Gesture. Much better match from Keem so far. And overtime, ducks in a row in order to take this fight, and they're running out of time. They get a touch now. Rhea drops in and then drops right on out very quickly. Got a quick bubble, but the Spitfire don't really damage it that much. That's the Graviton Surge, and No Smite is in the middle of it. It's a Maelstrom, and he won't be conscious to see the end of this one. It's gonna be Godspeed, personal shield, knocked away on the point. 99-0 to Spitfire. Much better on map 1 in this series, and they take it with ease.
It is all London here at map number 1. And Nabani will be map number 2 here. And you mean that
now they're pushed out on the right side. You can see Rhea and IDK. And on the low ground is the rest of the Hangzhou Spark. But Ocean comes in. It was a Transcendence that necessitated the use of the Transcendence here. And it's going to be a response from Bebe. Both teams use those keys in the other ultimates, and that's a rally coming out from the Spark. Sound barrier from the Spitfire. A lot of ultimates being used, a lot of bluff and blunder, but just that one kill onto Bebe early, and it's traded out. Both of the others are missing. Prophet now needs to try and make something happen with this Graviton, and he gets the job done. Adora and Godspeed fall to that one. IDK, the last one standing for the Spark. I know there's still presence here.
The Spark may invest into this. No Smite here using Primal Rage. You do have IDK coming back with the sound barrier by Prophet. He's just using the primary fire as Zarya, just left-clicking into that. It'll be a Graviton Surge from the Spark, and nothing with the self-destruct though.
This fight represents a huge investment from the Spark, but after all those fancy ultimates have come out, they weren't able to find the kills. It was actually after the fact when Godspeed's able to pick up 2 late in the fight. A charged up Zarya is a force. The low ground, should I say, definitely hoping to circumvent any sort of defense matrix. It's Prophet on the high ground with his own Graviton. Here we go. He gets eaten up though. Rhea has that one happily, and that's a bad sign for the Spitfire that needed that one to push this fight. That's going to be sound barrier for London, but the self-destruct on the backside finds Nuss. Yes, he got his ultimate off, but he goes down as a response, so they pushed up the payload.
For these teams, you're just running 3 kind of flex supports. It's very difficult to heal that all up.
First pick again for the Spitfire. This is how they want to start up the fight. Rally was already committed to the fight by the Spark, so it's likely that they try and get something for this. Maybe, 1/3 capture progress, get a tick on the point. But Bedosian's in such a safe spot right now. We see the Transcendence go on the low ground, but Guard has just used Rally, so the Spitfire have enough healing to stay competitive in this fight. And even more than that, completely wash over the Spark in the end. If he gets caught in this Graviton, he'll want to get caught in it when he can Transcendence, but he doesn't want to get picked off early into the fight. Here's a sound barrier to Spark. Yes, they want to get aggressive. Graviton Surge doesn't hit anyone in particular. That was supposed to be the key. Bebe now gets caught up in the grab from the Spitfire. And
go around. It's a tough one to lose.
I mean, the Spark have to go all in now. Win for a penny, in for the pound, as they say. To push up, running from both sides now. Earth Shadow. Oh no, that didn't really work out. Nuss was knocked down, and he does have a sound barrier. They got rid of him in time. That's going to hurt the Spitfire. They definitely wanted that Lucio ultimate, but another Graviton comes up. A quick charge for Prophet on that ability, and just swings for the fence. Gets 2 in the fire strike. And that'll be all she wrote. The London Spitfire. Insurmountable defense. Answers back to the Hangzhou Spark, and that's 2-0. Finally. Looks like they're hitting cruising altitude now, Matt. London.
Besides Spark, but maybe he can provide a spark for the Spark.
This is why you're not the play-by-play caster.
To see a team that can recover from first week jitters. Just didn't think it would be the Spitfire, but now they look much rejuvenated. Rallies from both sides. Hangzhou a little bit later, so they'll have that healing a little bit longer. Fury in the backline though. Self-destruct. Oh, Godspeed caught out by that one. There wasn't really much Gooseray could do to protect this whole team, given that he was suspended in midair, and a Spitfire, it's a perfect start to the fight for them. Nas encroaching on that sound barrier, which is going to make this Spitfire roster even more durable. They have all the ultimates they need, man. They might just save them for next round at this rate. Holy challenges, we call this not there. He doesn't have a shield, so there's less of a defensive zone for the Spark to play around when they move to this point. They have to just go forward, get aggressive, play in the chokes. Fury's low, desuited dead. Revenging Godspeed though, quick fire back across the broadside from the Spitfire though. And Nuss, by the way, German for nuts.
3 of them here for London to get around it. To commit to it for this long. Really relying on getting a good one.
Okay, Gesture gets Earth Shatter, but he had Primal Rage, so he's not really worried about the damage, and he can still get back and do some more work. Graviton Surge being used here, an attempt at the Death Blossom for Godspeed, but he finds nothing! Prophet just sends him packing back to the Afterlife. Really don't know if he's alive or undead at this point. It doesn't really matter because he did straight up nothing in that fight. Bazzy cut down, Gooseray forced just to look on, suspended in midair like a bad circus act he didn't sign up for. And that's it. No time left for the Spark. Unbelievable. Can you believe this roster? The Spitfire go from 0 to absolute.
Coming in, they signed another player, so
right.
we'll see if he plays the off-tank role. They rotate it all the way around. So.
This is only bad for the Spark if London sort of gets onto the payload. Gesture tried to go for a shatter. He is silenced very rapidly, but No Smite's taking a bunch of damage. The Spitfire don't find any kills during the duration of that Transcendence. That's why this might get a little bit nasty for them. That was an attempt, I think, from No Smite to knock Gesture's shield out of the way of that self-destruct. It doesn't connect, but still the Spark come up with the results. IDK sound barrier committed. But now the Spark have their own speed boost. They're trying to catch the Spitfire on the wrong foot. Self-destruct goes up here. Let's see how Gesture sets this up. That's pretty good. He knocks in a No Smite. Gesture sets up a perfect 2K for Fury's self-destruct. And that'll be the Spitfire now. Again, 6-4 in players as this team fight continues. The Spark actually end up committing the rally to the fight because there's only 22 seconds left. If there's some chance that they could need to commit his Earth Shatter to set up that combo, so here it is. No Smite needs to charge Gesture out of this one. Gets him there, nicely done. Good connection from No Smite, removes Gesture, and then Gesture and Nuss fall as a result. Doesn't commit his Earth Shatter, double given a No Smite now. He does get quickly healed back up. Repair pack thrown in there, No Smite again, low! He's taken down! The Graviton Surge committed to no avail by the Spark. And this is definitely going to propel the Spitfire forward. Bidoshin goes down, Nuss caught out by Bebe here. Maybe a turn, 4v5. Spitfire with a disadvantage, but the grab turns it around at just the right time. Prophet, Young Money coming up with the goods just when it's required. And in overtime, the Spitfire will confidence. Self-destruct there for Rhea, but if he gets rid of his mech, he can't eat the Graviton Surge. That was a grab from Godspeed. Rhea's going to set this one up now with a self-destruct in against Prophet. That's a good one. Prophet had the grab from London, a key ultimate taken away from the Spitfire. And it just gets run over. Bidoshin sitting in the back again, just trying to do his bit for his team, but he's pushed off the payload. Engagement attempt, but also the speed boost now. The Spitfire have a chance to fire back. Graviton Surge coming in, not easy, so that one is going to stick. Both teams go for the grab and a self-destruct job in by Rhea. Great setup once again. Gesture falling foul of that one. No Smite, big Earth Shattered. And you see Prophet and Guard, they're sleeping on the job. Fury only just got back into his mech, and it's going to be a short-lived one with Guard falling. It's a matter now of stalling out a little bit here for London. Hangzhou, one way or another, are going to take...
Close here for London. As Guard gets caught off guard there, playing a little bit too forward, a shatter. You don't even have to use the grab, that's huge.
This is terrible for the Spitfire.
Yeah,
the payload is so close. They haven't not once been able to set up their combo the way they would have liked to. Hangzhou Spark has beaten them to the punch every single time. And it looks like this one was thrown for a knockout. Guard going to appear. He actually did pile drive onto the payload, but it was a very small distance that he dropped down. Nastia just disintegrates inside that Graviton and Bidoshin. Oh, a little bit awkward. He's rather late to the party, not fashionably late, like that really awkwardly late, like everyone's already gone to bed and you arrive and say, what's going on? Yeah, that kind. 3-1